welcome to Yarn Lane. Oh, I am so excited today because, well, obviously Yarn Lane is great and I love it. And we've got animals and we've got Peyton's, some people call them patterns, Peyton's. First time we've ever had Peyton's patterns and Peyton's yarn. And we've got a brand new guest, Vanessa, who is an expert crocheter. And I think she loves the animals as much as I do. So I've got 3 of them here. I've got the monkey. And the teddy and the rabbit. Look at them, they're called flat toys. So they've got really like stuffed squidgy heads, and then they've got stuffed hands and they're stuffed feet, and they're just all lovely. And some of them, like the monkey, has got a tail. He's got a tail, and they've all got little features, but they're really soft. But what I love about them is obviously they're for children, but they don't have to be, you can have them for yourself. But the bodies are all flat. So they're just really easy. They're just the sort of thing that children just love to cuddle. But look at his little face. And the yarn, it's acrylic yarn, which is brilliant because you can just chuck it in the washing machine. But it's ever so soft. It's really good quality acrylic yarn. It's not rubbish. But they are all made in the same way except for their funny little features. So very easy to do. Now we've got loads of different options for you. Okay. But I just want to show you, because we've got lots and lots of different options of what you want to make and what you want to buy. So you need to go to the website first, www.yarnlane.com. Now, if you click on Watch Live, look, and you scroll down, you can see there's everything. So there's all the kits and all the bundles, and you've got to make a decision because we have got natural animals, but we've also got bright, fun animals. So let's start with the bright bundle. That's our biggest bundle. So in the bright bundle, let me just get it all. So all the bright animals Vanessa's got on her desk, I've got these, so you'll get to meet those in a moment. So in the bundle you get the pattern, and the pattern makes everything. So in the pattern there are all the instructions to make an elephant, a bear, a cat, a rabbit and a monkey. But not in this colourway. It's in the super bright colourway. So if I turn see, look, can you see? There they are. That's what, and Vanessa's got all of those. You'll see them in a minute. So for $21.99, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I can't remember, 12, 11. All of these colours are in the bundle. Aqua, black. So black is for the features of them because they've all got like little noses and mouths. Breeze, I think is that one. Breeze, I think this one is clown. These are the multicoloured colours. Fruity, navy, petrol, that's that one there. Pink, raspberry, bright purple, ladybird, I know that's the red one, ladybird, and white. So you've got 12 100-gram balls of yarn, which honestly is more than enough. And the pattern has got all of the instructions to make all of the animals. So once you've made one lot, you get you get to keep this. You can make all of them again and again and again. I mean, they're brilliant. There's no sort of loose parts. There's no buttons or extra bits on them. So they're ideal. You can use them for babies, for children. Aren't they gorgeous? And it's the only bundle that you get all 5 animals in. But in the pattern, obviously, you've got, it tells you which yarns to use, so you can use the same pattern for making the natural ones or the super bright ones. There's a picture on the back of the bright one, so that does help. You can see what you're doing. And the back of the bunny as well. So there's the back of the pattern. So everything is in there. They're all made, they're all crocheted, but they are so sweet, aren't they? They're just really lovely. I mean, like the rabbit, he's lovely. He's only one colour, but he's lovely. There's the gang. There they are. They're all together. That's where we found them this morning when we came in. I'm sure I left them in a box on Christmas Eve. But this morning, there were the gang. But they're lovely, aren't they? Anyway, though some of the yarns in there are not that easy to find yourself. So if you look at which one is it there? The cat yarn. That's this one here. So, you know, in order to make those exactly, but these are really fun, bright, really cheerful colours. I think children will absolutely love those. And obviously you get the pattern. Now you do need a 4mm crochet hook, and we have got that separately. We do have that separately. That doesn't come in the kit. Right, bundle number 2 is the natural animals. So we only have a bundle to make 3, and you get to make the rabbit, the monkey and the teddy. But obviously the same as with the bright bundle, you get the same instruction leaflet. So the instructions are there to make all of them, but you just get the yarn to make the 3 of them. Okay? So there are loads and loads of these already in baskets. So that's $15.99. You get 8 balls of yarn in chocolate, camel, oatmeal, cream. Oh, and you also get the ball of black for doing all the features. So you get 3 animals for $15.99, and obviously the pattern to make all of them. So, oh right, so half of the stock has already gone. That's because they're so lovely. They're so sweet. Right, then to really confuse you even further, what I thought I'd do, well, I want to give you some options so you can choose. Right, monkey bundle has got to be this one. So then I thought, well, will it be nice if you want to make a pair of monkeys? So if you want to make a neutral monkey, which is this one, and you want to make a bright monkey, look, there's the picture. So they're friends. This bundle for $9.99 will make that. So there are 5 balls of yarn in here. You get the chocolate, petrol, white, I think that one's called camel, and then you get this bright one as well. Less than £10, you get a pair of monkeys, but the good thing about this is you get the pattern as well for all 5 animals. So although you only get the yarn to make a neutral monkey and a bright monkey, you get the pattern to make all 5 animals. There you go. Don't they look lovely? They're just like best friends. I've split them up. They're on separate tables. I've had enough. They moved on separate tables. Next, what's the bear? Which one is the bear? I think this one. This one. So this is for making the teddy. So the teddy and the bright teddy. So in this bundle you get 4 balls of yarn, and you get the pattern, but you get the pattern to make all 5 toys. So you've still got the pattern to make everything. You can do what you like, but you have got the yarn to make a bright teddy and a neutral teddy. But you see, what I've done is that when you look at them, I worked it out and I thought, well, we could have done just one price for a pair, but actually some of them have less yarn in than others. So we have priced them accordingly, which is why some pairs are cheaper than other pairs, because they have less yarn. But you know, I didn't want to charge the higher price for all of them, so we've worked it out. So however many balls of yarn is what you're paying for. So that's why some of them, I think the monkeys, have got more yarn in than the rabbit. So the rabbit one is got less. So the next one, this is the last one, then we can get on with our demo, is the rabbit. So in the rabbit bundle, look at the rabbit. They should name Rabbit Pals. Rabbit Pals. You get the yarn to make the rabbit. Oh look, the rabbit has got a pom-pom for his bottom. I like that. So you get the yarn to make the bright one. So you get the cream, and then you get red, they call Ladybird, and this really bright one. What is this bright one called? I can't remember. Is it Fruity? I think it might be Fruity. So you've got all the yarn to make the Rabbit Pals. But as with the other bundles, you do get the pattern for making all of them. Yeah, that's the name of the yarn. It's lovely though, isn't it? So It's lovely. So that's the rabbit, friends. Now, you will also need, I've mixed up with that. You'll also need a 4mm crochet hook. So if you don't already have one, we've got one on the website here. We do have various different brands of crochet hooks. I chose this Clover one because that's the one that I like using. And if you're going to make lots of animals, it's a really nice soft touch hook. I find that the hook is quite precise and quite, well, not sharp, but quite easy to use, and I like the handle. So if you look on the website, we do have others, but that's my favourite. We've also got toy stuffing because you will need toy stuffing for their head and their paws, which are all squishy stuffed. So if you don't have any toy stuffing, you will need that for the head. And obviously there is loads there, enough for making many, 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 many animals. And so just choose which you want to make or whether you want to make all of them. Tricky. Anyway, let's meet Vanessa. So good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning, Rebecca.
Welcome to Yarn Lane.
Thank you. Nice
And your first ever journey with us. So tell us a bit about yourself. How did you start crocheting?
I took up crochet about 2.5 years ago. I took a course with a friend of mine because I wanted a little hobby.
Okay.
I felt like I was wasting my evenings watching Netflix and doing nothing else once the kids were in bed.
Fair enough.
And now it's nice producing something, and I really enjoy it. I've gone from just basic granny squares to having a go at pretty much anything.
Wow.
And
do you do knitting as well? Some people do both.
I'm not a very good knitter. I tried to teach myself in the first lockdown, and I'm very, very slow. And I jump back to crochet every time because I find it so much easier.
Most people seem to be the other way, don't they? That they start off with knitting and say they can't crochet.
Yeah.
But you've come straight into crochet.
Yeah. I can't get my head around
two
needles.
What do you like about it? So for people who are thinking about trying it and like, oh, I don't know whether I like it or not.
I think that once you get your head into a pattern, I really like the repetitiveness of some of the stitches. I find it quite soothing, and I love watching my work grow, feeling like I can put something down at the end of an evening and I've made something.
Yes,
it's been productive. I love giving handmade gifts as well, so lots of people got things at Christmas. Hopefully they all like them.
Yeah, I think a lot of people say, oh, I can't count, can't start, can't do it, you know. Did you find
Stitch markers are your friends for counting, always.
Okay.
It's always my biggest tip. If you think you're going to lose count part way through, pick an amount of stitches and mark them off. And then if you do lose count, somebody starts talking to you, you can just go back to the last stitch marker.
Okay. So with these patterns then, you said to me earlier, because you've been the one playing with them, not me, I've just read the pattern. They all have a common something.
They do. It's really nice because every single one of them, the main body, the arms and the legs are all exactly the same for every single one of them.
Right.
So you could...
because you've got all the bright friends.
I have, yeah. They're absolutely beautiful.
So you can pick them up.
You can. I don't want to mess with this layout.
Choose an animal.
I'm going to go for the bunny. She's gorgeous. They're the main part of the body, and all the legs and the arms are exactly the same on every single one of them. Some of them have got 2 colours and some of them are single colours.
Right.
And the head is also exactly the same. So you could, in theory, you could start working your way through one and decide halfway through, actually, I want to change it.
Oh, yes, because I suppose you don't have to, you don't have to make
If you change the colours and you were halfway through making a bunny and you decided, actually, the elephant looks way more fun.
Yes, or I want my elephant to be red. Yes, have they all got 2 colours in them?
No, the bear's got, the muzzle is a different colour, but I think the multicoloured ones, they've all got 2 coloured arms and legs.
Oh, okay.
Which is quite
so
cute.
you could really swap them around.
You could, yeah. You could switch them any way you wanted to, really. Especially if you've got the bundle with all of the colours in.
Yeah, so if you buy the big bundle, you could choose.
And so it's literally just a case at the end of it, once you've made the bunny's the simplest one because you've only got the pom-pom.
I like that.
Little bottom,
I love his tail.
And her ears. She's probably the simplest one.
Oh, and the monkey's got a tail.
The monkey and the cat have got a tail.
Oh, okay.
The monkey's got a little curly one and the cat's got a little side one.
I know, we had him hanging up earlier. He looks really, it's really cute, doesn't he?
Little row of monkeys. But yeah, so it's a really nice pattern for somebody who's not attempted it before. The traditional toys are always made up in the smaller stitches, the double crochet, because it holds the stuffing inside. The stuffing doesn't leak out of these small stitches. I hadn't noticed that. So the legs are double. Yeah, so the bases of the legs with the stuffing and the arms with the stuffing and the head are all a double crochet, because then that holds the stuffing in. Right. But when it gets to the main parts of the legs and the arms and the body, it moves to treble crochet, which works up an awful lot quicker. So
and it's really soft, isn't it?
It's really soft. I use acrylic yarn a lot. I really like making baby blankets.
Right.
And it's really important to be able to wash them
yeah.
over and over again. And I've never used the Peyton's acrylic before.
Okay.
And the first thing that I noticed was just how squishy.
It is. It's really soft.
And soft.
So there is a mixture in some of the bundles. There is some Peyton's and there is some Hayfield, which is it's owned by the same company. So some of them there, but they are just as soft.
Yeah, really
they are
soft
really
and
nice,
squishy.
But if you want to know what's going to be in the bundle that you're thinking about buying, if you go onto the website, the whole breakdown of what's in there will be shown, so you can see if you want some more details. So where do we start then?
So the pattern, looks like an awful lot of information on the pattern.
Right.
There's a lot of words, a lot of lines, and
a lot of words and a lot of lines.
Don't be overfaced by it. It is the reason that it's so detailed is to make it as easy as possible.
Oh, okay. So it's
there
not
is literally
right. That makes sense.
Line by line, you can't go wrong because you've got an instruction for absolutely everything.
Right.
So
brilliant.
It's you might look at that page that you've got on your screen and think, oh, I don't know where to start, what to do, and every single one of them you start with the basic body, and then you work your way into your arms and your legs and your head, and then you choose your detail at the end of it.
Brilliant.
So the basic body, I'm just going to start.
Yeah,
with
show us starting, because I know we've done starting before, but not everybody's been watching every episode, unfortunately.
It's always useful to know.
I know, so let's start right at the beginning.
So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make a slip knot to go on your hook.
Yeah.
So I do mine by going around my fingers, over the top, and then I reach my hook in, she says, pull it through, and then I've got my slip knot. And then I can adjust the slip knot, pull it tight onto my hook. Because everything that you're going to do is going to need some starting chains. So you need to have your hook and your yarn together. So the starting chain is literally to put the yarn over your hook and pull it through, and you've made your first chain. Easy. It's really simple. The worst thing that happens when you first start to crochet is the temptation to hold your yarn really, really tight and pull the hook through really, really tight.
So how do you hold your yarn? Because everyone sort of holds it differently.
They do, yeah. And it's a matter of personal preference, really, I think. But it's trying to do it on cue. I have mine over my finger here, and then through my hand and underneath my little finger.
Okay.
So my little finger's taking the tension.
Yeah.
And I can hold onto my working end of my yarn here as I'm going, but I've got my fingers inside holding the yarn so I can control my tension as it goes. Okay. So when you're making a starting chain, you want to make it loose so that you can, because you've got to go back and work into those stitches. Okay. So you can either just give each stitch a little wiggle before you pull the next one through, and then give that stitch a little wiggle to make them nice and big. Or some people recommend going up a hook size for your first chain, so that it forces them, no matter how tight you crochet, it forces them to be a little bit bigger.
To make it a bit looser. Right, okay, that's a really good tip.
So
you could use like a 4.5 or a 5 mil hook. Yeah,
because you're going to be crocheting back in, you're going to be pulling those stitches back a little bit tighter. So it's a nice way to ensure that your stitches are a bit looser. So this one calls for a starting chain on the basing body of 60, but I'm not going to do all of them for now.
Yes, just go and make yourself a cup of tea and eat your dinner.
Start your lunch a little bit early. So I'll do a few chains, just pulling the yarn through.
It's just nice to see, because everyone does it slightly differently, and I think it's really good to find what works for you as well, isn't it?
There's so much information out there, it can be quite overwhelming, but it is literally what feels natural in your hands and how you can make the yarn move without, you don't want to end up with it stuck in your hands. I remember somebody saying when I very first started about how the yarn hurt their hands, they were holding it so tightly, they were getting cramp in their hands. If you're holding it that tightly, you're going to end up with such tight tension, nothing's ever going to get made.
That's true.
So you do just need to loosen up as much as you can, really. So I'm going to just carry on pulling through a few chains, and then when you get to the end of your 60, it's going to ask you to slip stitch back into the first stitch. Right. Because you're going to work the body.
So where does the body start?
The body starts, if I pop this guy here, the body starts at the bottom.
Oh,
so
okay.
Your starting chain of 60 will give you this largest bit here.
Right.
But it actually
all the
goes
way round, isn't
all
it?
the way
it's
round.
Double-sided.
So you're working in the round. You're going to do one round of the trebles, and then you're going to do some chains and start working your way up and decreasing the sides as you go up. A little bit at a time.
Okay.
It gives you that triangular shape, and it gives you both sides of it. So she's actually hollow in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is
nice,
what makes
isn't
it so squishy and
It's
soft, I think.
so lovely, isn't it?
So you want to
love
make
them.
sure when it gets to the end of those chains and you're joining back into yourself, that you haven't twisted this all around on itself.
Yes.
Because then if you have twisted it all around and you start trying to work stitches into the chains, some are going to want to go one way and some are going to want to go the other way.
So how do you make sure then?
So you can lie your work flat. So in your chains, I'm trying not to get my head in the way, you've got these little V shapes.
Okay.
And that's each of the stitches. And if you make sure that they are all facing the same way, when you loop back round on yourself, and to slip stitch, you are just going to go through both parts of that V.
So which bit? I think that's something people say.
It is a bit difficult. I'll see if
That's right, they'll come in
there.
They can come in close.
You can see.
Could you come in close, please, Paul? Thank you very much.
So on the ones that I haven't worked, you can see these two parts here making a little V.
Yes.
And I've gone through the V part.
Oh, so it's just above the knot?
So it's literally just above the knot.
Right.
That's your first stitch.
Okay.
And to slip stitch, you're going to grab the working yarn, and you're going to pull it through both of those, and then pull it again through the stitch that you've already got on your hook, and that's slip them both together.
Perfect.
And that's it.
So, and if you've done all of it, it'd be big.
It would be a nice big long loop.
A big ring. Okay.
And then it's going into your first stitches. So you need to do 3 basic chains, 1, 2, 3, and that brings your work up to the height of the treble stitches.
Sorry, Paul, is it right? Just to the right slightly.
A bit better?
Is that okay? Perfect. There we go.
Didn't know where to go.
I know. Sometimes says left and I go right. Perfect.
Yes, you do the 3 chains, and that then takes your working up to the height that the stitch is going to produce.
Right, because we're going to start with trebles.
Because we're going to start with the trebles.
And this is in English.
This
UK.
is in English, yeah. So if you
UK.
have ever done any crochet before and you've done US terminology,
yes,
it's ever so easy to switch it over, but these are definitely UK terms.
This is definitely UK.
And there's only your basic double crochet for the smaller stitches and treble crochet for the larger parts.
Right, so there's nothing really complicated.
No, there's increases and decreases, but they are all in.
Yes, so those are the only
always in the same
that's
stitches.
Useful. Oh
so
no, it does actually say in UK. Australian.
It does.
Oh, I didn't realise Australian was the same as UK.
Oh no, I didn't either.
There we go.
Never seen that in that.
No, I've never seen that
useful
before.
Though.
It's useful to know.
So you're going to go all the way around your very first round of stitches doing trebles, and the treble crochet is you're going to yarn over your hook and put it through the V again that we were talking about. So you're going to go through the V, and it's a little trickier on that starting chain than when you're actually working on stitches. Pull it through, so you'll have 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull it through those first 2, then yarn over again, pull it through again, and you've made your first treble. And you've then created the V on the top for the next round. Okay,
so that's our first row.
Yep, so your very first row, if I work through to the end of this chain, just doing a few trebles, I'll be able to show you. Actually, I might pull out the next piece that I've done, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, sure.
Probably a little bit easier to show.
No, I know. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you have to do lots of little bits as you go along. This is like Vanessa's been on Blue Peter.
I've got lots of little pieces made up. So this is the full 60. So that's the bottom width.
And that's the monkey.
That's the monkey's colours.
God,
the lovely
he really
blue.
does change colour, doesn't he?
I know, it's really pretty.
So if you want the Monkeys kit, that's the one that's on the screen at the moment. You get the bright multicoloured one that Vanessa's doing and the natural one that I've got here.
So I'm going to just pull back a couple of stitches.
And he comes in if you buy the natural bundle or the bright bundle, he comes in that as well. But if you want just a pair of monkeys, that is the ones that are on screen at the moment. I love that. It's great, isn't it?
So I've done the first entire row of the trebles. And I've started on the next row, so I'm going to do a couple of normal trebles, and then I'm going to show the decrease in the trebles,
that's fine.
which is going
to go right just a bit.
Sorry, I've ended up across again.
I know, I do that. I keep and then
I'm moving toward. It's because I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
I'm sort of moving.
I sort of end up going. I do
towards
the
you.
same thing as well.
So I'm going to yarn over. So I've got to go through my V in the top and pull it up for 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to do another couple of those. Yarn over into the stitch, pulling up a loop, pull through 2, and pull through 2 again. I'll do one more and then I'll show the
Oh, so
decrease.
this is our next row.
Yes, so
right.
we've done one entire row here, and then this is the second row up now. So yarning over, pulling it back through, so we've got 3, pull through and pull through. So each time you get to each side, you're going to need to do a decrease of these treble stitches.
Oh, of course, because you start at the widest point.
Pulls the sides in as you go up and forms a little triangle.
I quite like that though. I think it's nicer going small.
Yeah, it's really, it'd be a bit boxy otherwise, wouldn't it?
Well,
so
no,
it's nice it goes up to the
I suppose you could have started at the top, but it's quite nice that you get sort of smaller, don't
the rounds get quicker and quicker as well. You do the biggest one at the beginning.
Psychological.
So to do a decrease with the treble, you start as normal, and you yarn over and go into the stitch.
Yeah.
And you yarn over and pull through. You do the first part of your treble as normal, so you're back to 2 loops, and then you start again with the next stitch. So you yarn over into the next stitch, pull up, and complete the first half of that, and then you just yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay. So you've gone from two stitches below to only 1 V as the result of what you've done.
Right.
So that'll be 1 stitch.
And I presume that happens just at the edges.
It just happens at the edges, yeah. So when you work the whole way along here in the trebles, when you get back to the beginning, you will skip over this starting chain. You won't do anything with that, so that acts as the decrease on that side. Okay. You're just pulling that stitch in.
So that's quite simple. And is it explained? Does that make sense?
It is really self-explanatory the whole way through.
Oh, good.
Which is really good.
Okay.
And so if you carried on with all of that the whole way through, you're going to end up with bits of yarn falling all over the place.
Magically.
Your body almost up to the top.
Yeah, we don't have this yarn in our bundle, but this is just one that Vanessa's done.
Yes, sorry about that.
That's right, it doesn't matter.
Bit confusing.
It doesn't matter.
So I'm only 2 rows away from finishing it on this one, so I didn't know if it would be useful to just go and do a couple of rows on there.
Well, because this will, if you haven't seen Yarn Lane before, if you will be on YouTube tomorrow. So if you bought the kit and you want to watch Vanessa's demonstration again, just remember what day it is, 4th of January. And then if you go onto the Yarn Lane YouTube site, you can watch it all over again. So that's
step by step.
Step by step. So it's always useful when they get to the part of the patch. You go, I remember the bit when she said that. So lots of our viewers do always watch back because it makes it more useful.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, I imagine there's a lot of times that people can. The amount of tips that I've seen when I've been watching other people coming up with and thinking, I'm going to store that one away.
Store that one. I know. I've learned every day. I learn something on here from somebody. It's great.
So this I've got all the way up to the point where you've reached the last treble in the row, and this is the starting chain of that row. So as I said before, we're just going to skip over that chain and we're going to slip stitch straight into the top of the first treble from the last round and do our 3 stitches, and we're just going to treble all the way around. Oh, my hands are shaking, I'm so sorry. Oh dear. It's always easier when you're doing it at home on your own and
I know.
No one's looking at you.
I don't worry, I put in a zip last week so badly. The whole thing went wrong from beginning to end.
On screen?
Yes, all of it.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. The machine ran out of thread. That wasn't the best start.
Oh no.
And then everything else went wrong. And then I sewed 2 bits together in the wrong way. There we go. It was a really good lesson on how not to insert a zip.
So I'm going to get to the point now. It does tell you in the pattern exactly how many stitches each time to do before you get
that's quite handy, isn't it?
To the decrease.
So it says like 58, 56, 54.
Yeah. And it gives you a round count at the end of each line as well, so you know how many stitches if you wanted to go back and count how many you should have. But from making so many of these at home, I know that when I get to the decrease, can you see here where those 2 stitches have gone together?
Yeah.
When I get to the decrease from the row before, those are the 2 stitches that I'm decreasing.
Right.
Together.
So you see the pattern after a while of it.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
It was really nice just sitting and whizzing my way through a few of these bodies, because once you have got your head around it, although I did go too far, you're supposed to stop when it gets to 22 stitches round, and I carried on going and ended up with a full triangle.
Right.
I wondered what was going on. So I'll do that round, and then I'll show you when you get to the top, you need to slip stitch the top seam together.
Okay.
And the
Right,
bottom
well,
seam.
while you finish your 22 round, we're just going to look at the bundle for the natural animals. Right, so there are only 10 of these remaining. So if you want the bundle of the 3 monkey and the teddy and the rabbit, there they are there. Remember, in the instruction booklet, there are the instructions to do all of them, all 5. And obviously, you can do them in any colour you want. You get the yarn in your kit to make these is everything you need. So, I'm going to have to pick it out of the other bundles. So, there are 8 balls of yarn in this kit because some of them you need 2. Can't remember which ones. But, so there's black. There's black times 1, white times 1, this is great. Yeah, beige times 2, which I think must be this one. 2 of them. Yeah, 2 of this one. And cream. Yes. And pattern on chocolate times 1. Anyway, it's all in there. It's all in there. I think I've got all my balls mixed up, to be honest. But anyway, there is enough yarn to make all 3 and the pattern to do all 5, and it's about to sell out. It's $15.99 for all of that, but it is just wanted to let you know if you do want them, I would put them in your basket and check out and put them and check out. But that bundle will be about to sell out. Okay. Right. I'll put it on this chair. So we've got to 22.
So we've got to just 22 stitches left at the top. So it then asks you in the pattern to join these top and bottom seams together.
Okay.
So that the body's complete before you then
right. So
start adding your
and you
bits
just
on
sew
later.
them together.
So you can either thread a needle and sew them through, or if you've got the stitch on your hook already, you can slip stitch across the top.
Right. Okay.
So you can go. I'd do 1 chain here, and I would go across the 2 here and the 2 here. Grab my yarn and pull it through, and pull it through. Pull it through again, and that will make my first slip stitch. I'd go through the next, and then mirroring one on the other side, pull it through, and again. And if you do that the whole way along, that's going to do the same as sewing it up, but you don't have to cut your yarn, thread a needle.
So you can crochet them together.
You just crochet them together, and it leaves a nice edge across the top.
Yeah, I don't know
And then
what
there's no
they've
knots
done actually.
or-
I think. Oh, I don't know. Can't tell.
No, I don't
tell
think
if you look at
it
theirs?
makes. I think they've stitched it. I think I can see another colour.
Oh,
across.
okay.
But I.
That's
it's
quite
personal-
nice. So
I think it's
basically,
personal
you just make a
preference.
triangular sleeping bag.
Yeah, make a little sleeping bag. And then once you've done that, you can cut off.
Yeah,
your...
it just says join.
Yes. So, which is I did it automatically like this, but you can. So when you reach the end, you can.
So the natural animal bundle is now sold out,
Wow.
and the rabbit bundle has sold out, and the teddies is about to go.
Wow.
So
That's because they're so beautiful.
So the brights is still available, and the monkeys. There we go. Right. So what's next?
So next is the feet and arms all start off in exactly the same way, and I've got one here.
Oh, so yes, all the arms and the legs.
All
are
the arms and the
exactly
legs.
the
Actually,
same.
the head also starts the same way.
Oh, okay.
They're all worked in the round.
See, the bear looks completely different, but I guess that's just the snout,
It
isn't
is.
it?
You make the snout separately and stitch. You actually make the snout, and then you make his little tiny nose as well, and sew the nose onto the snout, and then sew the snout onto the head.
I love him.
The thing I really love about them is all the different ears. They're so easy to
really
make, but it's the way
good.
that you fold them and then put them onto the head
Yeah, because the
that
teddy
really gives the character. The teddies are actually like little round balls, like the bottoms of the feet,
Oh, okay.
like this. But then you
is that the same?
squish them.
Have you got the monkeys? That
No, the monkey's ears are actually made in 2 parts.
you can
I've
take them
knocked
off. You can hold them.
Oh no, I've slipped a cat off.
Cat's gone.
The cat's gone.
Yeah, don't worry.
Gone
we'll
overboard.
We'll get the cat back.
The monkey's ears are actually made, you make one patch on the front and one patch on the side, put them back to back, and then with the
Oh.
back colour, you sew all the way around the edge, which gives the illusion
Oh,
of the
I
bit around the
see.
front. It's really clever.
I like his petrol nose. That's that colour there,
It is
isn't
beautiful, isn't it? It's a really
it?
lovely
It goes
one.
together. Those actually look really nice together, don't they? The petrol nose
The
and the
greeny blue colour is one of my favourites, actually. It's such a nice mix. And it changes colour quite rapidly in some places, and then they're longer changes as well.
Yeah, it's
in
funny
others.
because when you look at the yarn, it doesn't look like that happens.
No.
But it does. I mean, this is the exact one that they did it in.
It's
It's
a really nice colour
lovely.
mix. I know that my son's got his eyes on
Has he?
on that colour.
On that one, he
Yeah.
is lovely.
My daughter's been begging me for a bunny the whole way through, so I'm definitely going to have to make one when I get home.
You will.
But I was saying that the teddy ears, when you make the head and the feet and they're round and then you stuff them, the teddy ears are exactly the same, but you flatten them back in on themselves and curl them round
Looks
ever
like
so
a little
slightly
bobble hat, doesn't it?
and sew them on that way. So
Okay,
that's how
really
you
nice.
get them.
And is that how the rabbit ears are? Well, the rabbits
The
are
rabbit
obviously,
ears, sorry, excuse me, dipping behind. I've got little bags full of bits.
The rabbit ears look like this when they're flat, because they're all made in the round. So you start at the smallest point, and you
right.
go round in the rounds, and they're actually sort of tubular.
Yeah.
And then when you lay them flat, you fold them in half at the base when you sew them. So you
But
get
it makes them look, I think because they're double-sided, it just makes them look.
yeah, and also they stand.
They
If they were
stand up.
if they were just a single row, you'd have to wire
Yeah.
them, I think, to stand. And if you're making them for small children, you don't want wires and all sorts of things in them.
No, not at all.
And the fact that you embroider the features, so you don't have any worry
I
about
really
the
like
eyes.
that as
It's
well,
really
and it doesn't
nice.
even sort of suggest that. It does say embroider them, doesn't it?
And because the limbs aren't really heavy, they're not going to come apart even with a good tug as long as you've sewed them
That's
securely. And being acrylic, they're just going to wash.
No, they're just lovely, aren't they? They'd be nice to make someone a whole set. Can you imagine making them all? Because if you buy the set of brights, you make all of them.
The whole lot. You could decorate a whole nursery with them, couldn't you?
couldn't you? Because they're really good fun. So if we do, are the legs and the arms done in the same way? They're just longer?
Yes, they are. So I'll get the bunny back out again. You're starting with your base, working in the round, and then you increase up. You do a couple of rounds just with the stitches exactly the stitch count of the round, and then you decrease back down, and then you switch to the trebles and whiz your way through. And I think there's about 12 rounds to make an arm, and only about 6 or 7 to make a leg.
Okay.
And then you just attach them on.
So you get
from
carried
there.
away and you end up with full arm.
Yeah, really long.
You
One
see, I
really
would do
long
that.
arm.
So the only way you can get the bunny now is if you buy the Brights bundle, because you can't buy the bunnies on their own. You have to buy the bundle of all of them. Buy the gang.
The whole lot.
Yeah.
I was just going to show, if that's okay, doing the increases in the double crochet.
Yes.
So, and I was also going to show a little tip that I've got.
Yeah, go on then.
I was saying
Brilliant.
about stitch markers
Yeah.
earlier. I do put stitch markers in everything, but when I'm working in the round with the small pieces like this, I tend to use a little piece of yarn, and I tuck it under the stitch as I'm going, and then you can just pull the whole lot out when you're finished.
Yes.
You can always see the beginning of the round that way. So if I do a couple of double crochets, so I know the stitch below was my chain from the previous round, so I'm actually going to be working into the next stitch. So I will flip this over, marking the beginning of my round. I'm going to do a double crochet, which is into your V. You see the V's on the top here.
Yeah.
Into the V, and grab the yarn, pull it through. So you've got your 2 stitches.
Yeah, just go right just a tad. Perfect.
I'm coming over to you every time.
I know, well I do the same, so don't worry about it.
And
Paul.
all the way through, and that's your double crochet stitch, all done.
Okay.
Really simple, just through once,
Yeah.
yarn over once, and through again, and you've made it. And to do an increase in a double crochet, you just do 2 of that exact stitch in 1 stitch,
Right.
and that then increases it for the next round.
Okay.
So you'd go in, yarn over, pull up, and 1, and then in exactly the same gap, go through, yarn over, and you're done.
Brilliant.
That was it. And opposite way round, when you're then going to the smaller parts to come back up again, and you've got to do a decrease, you're going to join 2 stitches together the same way we did with the treble.
Okay.
So we would go
Yeah, shoe.
yarn in and pull up, and then we're not going to do anything more to complete that stitch because we want to include the next one. So we're going to dip in again, yarn in and over and all together.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Lovely.
So I'll do that one.
So it starts off increasing,
Yep.
and then it goes back down.
Yeah, and it's row by row. It'll tell you
Yeah,
how many
this is
stitches you
so-
go before you increase.
It's a big pattern, isn't it? As well?
It is written so nicely, and it's so inclusive, so you can, if you're a bit more confident, you can see the patterns coming.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you can
sure.
you can
Yeah.
skip along with it, or you can. I mean, I like to mark every line, make sure I've got my stitch count each
And it's
time.
explained about 2 coloured arms and single, because some
Yes.
of them have only got 1 colour and
Yeah,
some of them have got
and
more than
it tells
one.
you which row that you'd need to change
Oh,
change the yarn
Yeah.
on, break the colour of the main colour and go on to your contrast colour. So it's all literally mapped out a step at a time for you.
So, and then you stuff these, I presume, before you
do,
sew them up?
yes. So I've got a head, a partial head.
A head? Whose head have you got? A teddy?
It's a teddy head.
A teddy head.
A teddy head. And it even gets to the point that I've done toys before and I've whipped around and I've got smaller and smaller and smaller, and then suddenly thought, I've not got enough room to do anything on the inside. And I have ended up with having to just go back on myself, but it actually
Right.
tells you, so you've done your increase rounds.
Oh, basic head, okay.
And then you've got several rounds which are just standard stitches the whole way around, and then you've started to decrease, it's getting smaller, and then it says stop.
That's
some
really
stuffing in.
useful, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's quite nice.
And you can pile in as much as you want to give it the firm feeling, and then you can carry on decreasing.
Yeah, so the heads, yeah, because it says basic is exactly the same,
Yeah.
and then you add.
And it's all about the little bits that you can make for each individual animal
Wow.
that you then add on afterwards. So
Nice, okay, so that makes sense. And then you just sew sew the head to the top of there, and then you sew
Yep.
the legs in. But the monkey's got a tail.
the monkey has got a tail. Where's the monkey's tail? He's got a lovely long, and that you get the twist. I was trying to work this out and then realised that it was in the instructions. What I did, I had to remake it because I didn't do it the first time. If you leave a really long tail when you make your slip stitch,
Yes.
so you then thread it back through the first stitch and you run it up this inside and then pull it back out again and then give it a tug. And that then, because it's actually made, if I can
Oh, I
find the
see.
monkey, it's actually made as, when you make the tail, it actually comes out just like this.
You've got a lot of animal bits.
I've made every piece of
Oh
the
my
animals.
Lord,
I
well,
wasn't
you'll
sure.
have to sew them all together at the end.
I need to make a whole load more bodies. They might be a bit mismatched because they're all in the different colours.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, you make, so it comes out like this. And I was looking at it thinking,
Actually,
I've done something
feel,
wrong.
now I can feel that
Yeah.
in there.
So you thread this on a needle, tuck it back up sort of halfway, and then give it a really good pull from the inside, and it pulls itself back, and you can secure it with a little knot.
Oh, that's great. You know,
and it holds it in.
You can feel that's
Yeah.
in there. What a good idea.
It's so clever. I did think, as I was working through, I was thinking, how on earth does it make...
Well, I thought that's going to be a bit tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it looked like
get the,
the pattern was making it curve, but I got all the way to the end of the tail, and then it says there, thread it back through,
Clever.
and there you go, you've got your shape of your tail.
And then the rabbit has a pom-pom.
He does have a little pom-pom,
Has
which
he got a red one on the
on his, yes, on this guy, he's got a really
on the
cute
bride
little,
gang?
really cute little fluffy red bottom.
He's sweet.
I like the elephant's hairdo as well. Have you spotted that?
No.
He's got a little
Oh, okay.
bit of fluff on the
Oh,
top of
shows
his
the
head.
elephant.
He's
Oh,
just, which is just a couple of knotted bits of the yarn. And
Yeah,
then
the only
just
way
comb
you
it
can
through.
get the elephant is if you buy this bundle of the Bright Guys.
I have, and the cat, which I've thrown on the floor, so I can't show you.
Oh, you can go and get
Can
him.
I go and
It's
grab
fine.
him?
Just go and get
Go and fetch the cat.
You go fetch the cat.
He's got a tail
I
as
can't
well.
constantly drop things on the floor. You can go and get your cat.
Here he is. He's got a tail as well. It's just a little straight tail.
Ah, okay.
That goes
So,
like
are there
that.
any sort of parts that? Because how long have we got left, Hannah? 5 minutes?
Wow, that's gone
About
quick.
10. Okay, got a bit longer than 10. Oh yeah, demo wise. So, what is worth talking? You know, is there a difficult bit of all of the animals?
I think the only bit that I was that I really wanted to show,
They're all
they're all going everywhere, is there's only one of the animals that has got anything particularly different on it, and that's on the elephant's trunk.
Right. Okay.
When you're starting on his trunk, because, if I show you, if I can get
Yeah.
him without throwing him. So you start with the beginning part here, and then to get that change of direction, so that you've got a
Yes.
bottom and then going up, it calls for you to do a back loop only stitch,
Okay. Yes.
which then forces.
Right.
So that's a bit of a different one to the others, you're still doing a double crochet, but you're only going to do it in the back loop of the round before.
Right, okay.
So it's going back to looking at these V's here. So you've got the one closest to you is always your front loop, and the one furthest away is your back loop. So rather than going into both of the V's, like we have been for all of the other stitches, you're just going to pick up the back loop.
And so why does that happen?
That causes an actual, the front V makes a little ridge around the stitches, and then so you imagine that's the base of the trunk. You're then going to work upwards from there. So it's almost like it's made a little right angle.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense.
Quite a nice little trick.
Yeah, so it's like having, like sewing in a circle into something.
So you're going to just back loop, double crochet. So once you're into the back loop, it's exactly the same. You'll pull your yarn through, yarn over and pull through, and you just work the whole way round. And then once that round is over, it's back to normal stitches again. That is the only stitch that's any different. Yeah,
so that's the only thing, and then you just work in a tube, I presume?
Yep, you just work in a tube. You have a few increases because he does get ever so slightly bigger as he's going up. It does get a little bit wider.
Oh, of course. Yes, actually, when I see him really close, you can see that he's got the same head as the tail. It's amazing how different they look with all the different features.
It does give you, when it's telling you how to embroider the faces on, it does give you the little tip as well. Can you see that it looks almost like they've got a dimple here?
Yes.
When you finished sewing the eyes on, it gives you the tip to sort of pull it tightly through, and it actually pulls the head in and gives the effect without you having to shape it with your crochet stitches.
Right, it just does that anyway.
It does that anyway, which is quite sweet. It looks really nice on the rabbit.
Oh, and it has this trunk turn up as well.
Yeah.
The same as the
little.
Is that the same as the tail turn up?
No, I think it's just the particular type of increases. I think it increases ever so slightly on this side to this side.
And so that just pulls it up.
And it pulls it up ever so slightly.
It is quite nice that it does give a lot of information, doesn't it?
It does. It's very, very user friendly as patterns go.
And I guess because the photos are quite big, and you've got the natural ones and the bright ones.
Yes. It's very easy to look back at the guides for being able to put the faces on. You can pretty much see exactly.
The rabbit's bottom.
His little fluffy tail.
Because he has got the nicest bottom. They're laughing at me now. That's been brilliant, Vanessa. Thank you so much.
That's okay.
Have you enjoyed it?
I have. It's been an absolute pleasure. I can't believe the time's gone already.
I said it would go, just whoosh, like that.
I've got bags full of little bits down here. I wasn't sure if I'd need to show.
Oh, I know. Well, it's that's really. We'll have to come do it again.
Absolutely.
We'll do it again because we've almost sold out anyway. So
wow.
Keep your bags.
Yes.
Keep your bags.
I won't let them go.
We'll have to get hold of some more and we'll do it again because
Fantastic.
Obviously it's been really popular. But the great thing about Yarn Lane is we can try all different things, see what's popular and see what's not. But you obviously love toys. So thank you so much, and we will see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. So should we just have a quick recap? I'm going to do the big bundle of all the colourful gang, the Bright Guys. The Bright Guys. So in the Bright Guys gang, who are now on screen, looking like they're all leaning across each other, you get the pattern, which gives you the instructions, and as Vanessa said, very, very easy instructions to make all of them. It's a really good pattern. So you've got everything you need, all the materials, and it actually lists in here the colours that you need as well to create that exactly, and the colour numbers. So if you wanted to do it again and you want to buy more yarn, you can. It's got all the basic stuff, how to do the elephant, the cat, the monkey and the rabbit and the bear. And there's pictures on the back of the Bright Guys as well. So the Bright Guys, we called the Bright Guys. So if you want to do theirs exactly, but like Vanessa said, you can change the body and the arms, everything, that's all the same. So as you move along, you can change what colour you want to do. But in the bundle, which is amazing value for money, $21.99, you get the pattern. Now I'm going to have to pick out the colours because I think I've mixed everything up. We're never going to work this out. I'm just going to find the ones that are different. So I know that is the monkey. So you get the bright monkey, you get the rabbit. I'm just going to copy the animals. That's the easiest thing. So that one that's the elephant. Is that one in blue? That's the elephant. Oh, the teddy is pink. That's the teddy. And the bear must be that one. Yeah, and there's also black in there as well. I know there's black in there because you'll need that for the features. So basically, all the yarn you need to make all of the bright guys is in here. How many balls is it, Hannah? Is it 12? So 12 100-gram balls, and they are acrylic. So it means they're really soft and they're completely washable. So they're lovely. So you get 12 100-gram balls. So you are going to have a lot of yarn then. Do you know, Vanessa, how much you needed for one? Did you use a whole ball?
No, I didn't use a whole ball.
Okay.
I made it in one of the natural colours, and I still had probably about 20 grams left at the end.
Okay, so you might be able to make another one.
So you'd be able to use that for the features,
Yeah.
or the arms and legs.
Oh,
for
that would be
another one.
good. Or you could just make a multicoloured stripy one.
Just a bit of everything.
Wherever you lived. So there are currently more in baskets of these than there are available. So if you want the bright guys, you need to check out, really. And monkeys, we've still got monkeys. We still have the pair of the monkeys together. So again, the great thing about the monkeys is you get the, here's one of them, here is him. So you get 1, 2, 3, oh, I'm getting good at this now, 4, 5. You get 5, don't you, in this one? Yeah. So those are all the colours you need for the bright monkey and the natural monkey, and obviously you get the pattern, which is brilliant because you've then got the pattern for all of them. So if you want to make any of them, you still get that in because there was only one pattern. So yeah, yes, because if these become one of your child's particular favourites, I think Hannah's talking from experience, you might want to make a secret one for if they lose a clean one, maybe. So they've got that spare one. So that's the monkey bundle, the monkey pair. So you get all of the colours of yarn and you get the whole pattern for making all of them. So if you do want to make any of them, there are only the two left, the bright guys and the monkey bundle, which I think is called the monkey's crochet kit. There he is. There he is there. Now, if you don't have a 4mm crochet hook, we didn't put them in the kit because a lot of you I know have crochet hooks and don't want to buy more. This is my favourite one. I like the clover one. We do have others on the website. So all you have to do is go on to www.yarnlane.com. And when you go on the website, if you go, there is a section called Needles and Hooks. If you go on there, you will see all the different ones that we do. We also have sets of hooks. So like Vanessa was saying, sometimes particularly when you're a beginner, it's easier if you do your starting chain with a bigger hook, like a 4.5 or a 5mm. So if you go on there, we do sell them separately, but I think if you haven't crocheted before, it's really worth buying one of the sets where you get different sizes, because it does explain in the pattern exactly the same with knitting, that everybody crochets and knits at a different tension. And in the pattern, there is a tension square, isn't there? Yes. So if you find your tension, yeah, there is a tension measurement. So if you find your tension is too loose or too tight, you will need to change your hook size. So if you are a beginner, it really is worth investing in a set of hooks from probably like 2.5 to about 6mm would do most things. As your yarn gets chunkier, then you need to go up. You can go up to 8, 10, 12mm, all sorts, but it would be worth it. But if you haven't got a hook, you will need that one. If you go on the website, Needles and Hooks is all on there. Then you'll be able to find it. So, well, that's Yarn Lane. Gosh, we've only got like 10 seconds left. I'll be back on Wednesday, really excited. It is with Christine, who's Winning Mum, and it is honestly the absolute ultimate guide to sock making. She is the queen of socks. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I will see you 12 o'clock on Wednesday. And thanks for joining us. And I hope you enjoy the animals.